Tesla car, the self-driving Model X to be specific, and in the video, the car appears to be driving itself. In 2016, the Tesla CEO Elon Musk posted this video on his Twitter handle. Tesla drives itself, he bragged. Not just that, Musk added that the car also parks itself and returns to pick up the passenger when summoned. You know, like a genie, summon it and it's there. What Musk was selling was a story straight out of the future. It was a story that he wanted Tesla owners to believe, and many of them did believe it. But in hindsight, it turns out that this story was nothing more than a fantasy, at least a fantasy so far. That car in that video never actually drove itself. The whole thing was to some extent staged, and the world only found out about it 6 years too late. How, you ask? Well, you see, there was a fatal Tesla crash involving an Apple engineer in 2018. I mean, it was one of the many crashes that had happened involving a Tesla. Okay, I know Tesla says that a lot of cars have crashes. Why does everyone only pick on Teslas? Valid point, but yes, there were many crashes involving Teslas. But I digress. The Apple engineer was driving a Model 3. The car was on a Silicon Valley freeway when it went and hit a concrete barrier. The engineer was rushed to the hospital, but when he died, it is believed that during the time of the crash, the car was on autopilot. An investigation began, and recently, the legal proceedings involved a deposition by Tesla's director of autopilot software. His name is Ashok Eluswamy, and he said that that video which Tesla released in 2016 was actually staged. Unlike what the video showed, Tesla neither had traffic light handling capability, nor was it capable of dynamic route planning. Why then did Tesla, lying is a strong word, but why did Tesla put out a video that maybe not entirely what the truth is? Eluswamy said it was Musk's idea because the video was made at Musk's request. But at what cost? According to one estimate, there were 272 crashes involving driverless Teslas alone between July 2021 and June 2022 in the US alone. In the past, Tesla's driverless cars have hit many things, from trees to road dividers, even a plane, would you believe it? And on Thanksgiving Day last year, a Tesla Model S triggered an 8-vehicle crash in California. The car was traveling at a speed of 55 miles per hour when it shifted lanes and braked abruptly. This led to a vehicle hitting the Tesla and triggered a chain of reactions of crashes. Look at this video. And as recently as earlier this week, a Tesla Model 3 crashed into a ferry terminal in Canada. Now look, I just want to make one thing clear. Let's not only pick on Tesla. The flip side, which is fair, look at the number of crashes that happen. Look at the number of crashes that happen because of human drivers. Look at the number of crashes that happen because of other cars. Tesla says, and Elon Musk says, and they may have a point, Tesla gets unfair criticism. They are picked on a lot too much. Why aren't you talking about all the other cars that are also there, having accidents? Valid point, completely valid point. But in a sense, Tesla has been the poster car or the poster child of the entire self-driving revolution. So it is only fair, I guess, that Tesla attracts a lot of the criticism. But is there a question mark overall about driverless cars? Is this technology that was hyped too much, too soon? And for more on all of this, now being joined by Ashish, a host of Pit Stop. Ashish, self-driving cars. A lot of hype around it like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It's going to come right now. It's happening tomorrow. It's happening day after. Actually, AI might come before that. Too much hype, and are we being unfair in singling out Tesla for contributing to that?
So a couple of things to unpack over here. I think we are not being unfair. I think Tesla deserves the criticism that we have been talking about. And autonomous driving capabilities are way far out. It's going to take at least 20 years for us to adopt the technology at a mass scale. And yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
And you're talking around the world. India autonomous driving, I don't know when it's going to come. Next century, we'll have to fix a whole lot of things.
It is going to be a nightmare, yes.
Driving by humans is next to impossible. I don't know what AI. But you're saying even in the US, in California, autonomous driving is some distance away.
So California is fairly advanced. That is the only state which is doing some good stuff in the driverless technology. And implementation of the technology as well. But if you look at Utah or any of these cities and towns and states, it is going to be a little difficult for the technology to get completely tested in a big way. So yeah, even US is kind of fragmented in that way. All the technology is focused around very specific pockets.
So that ad that we were seeing from Tesla that we were criticizing a fair amount, fair criticism, you think that it was too early to make some of those claims that it is happening?
Absolutely. And we have to look at how things unfolded, because in the whole of 2016, Tesla essentially tested their autopilot system for about 800 kilometers, because before that they were on the Mobileye system. They had just started doing their own autonomous evaluations, and it did not go down very well, because if you look at the data and compare it to the other players in the industry, they've had the maximum disengagements. And by that, what we mean is Tesla, in the 4 days of filming this ad, and also then the days that it essentially drove the car for this eventual execution, they had a total number of about 180 or 182 disengagements for the total.
Which means that the human has to take over.
Yes, so the human or the driver in the driving seat, he had to take over the control system. Okay. So there was a disengagement of the system.
The self-driving car are not coming in the next week.
Not at all.
Next year.
Not at all.
Maybe not in the next decade.
Not at all.
All right, Ashish, thank you so much for joining us. Pleasure talking to you. And that's all we have for you this week on This World. We'll be back again next week. The big news makers, the big events taking place around the world, all of them discussed and analyzed from an Indian perspective.